Just a quick honourable mention to Stephen in the comments section, who said he'd quite like to see all 62 of the original Goosebumps books in order, and also asked if I had a haunted mask. It's the one I omitted from the previous video, number 11. Well spotted, mate. One of my favourite books. Well, it's certainly one of the Goosebumps books that I've read the most. I don't think this is one. This is the actual original copy that I had when I was a child. Who knows? Oh, Pokemon card. Maybe edit that out. If you guys are interested, I'm currently going through the 10 spooky stories from the Tales to Give You Goosebumps Special Edition 1 by R.L. Stine. Current playlist, I've only got one story in at the moment, The House of No Return, but I'll be going through them one at a time. Next will be Teacher's Pet, it's coming soon. Welcome to part 2 of the original Goosebumps series, books 1 through to 62. Today I'll be looking at 31 to 62, but before I do, I'd like to show you something that if you've watched part 1 you might be interested in. I said that some Goosebumps books contained a kind of a flyer or an advert for the Goosebumps Collectors Club. I just wanted to show you that. Something you might not have. I've only got it in one of my books, which I'm surprised about. I genuinely remember it being in more or less all of the ones I had when I was a child, but something I may have just missed. May have lost over time, that is. Worth over £14. You got what? Welcome to Dead House, Say Cheese and Die, well, Stay Out of the Basement, a bookmark, a bouncy eyeball. I remember those in school actually, some people had that. A little collector's box and a Be Ready to Scream Your Head Off poster. For only £4.99 you'll get. Now I'm not sure if you sent this off now, whether or not you get anything. Highly unlikely. Might get a bit of a laugh from the publisher, who knows. Anyway, if I come across any more, I'll show you them. Now, this is all unscripted, so forgive me if I fumble my words, but let's go through. The first one is Not a Living Dummy 2. The lighting's awful. Never mind. Slappy. Again, as I mentioned in the last video, Slappy looks markedly different from what he does now in the movies and even in the TV show. Red hair, blue eyes. Does he have blue eyes in the new ones? Well, whatever, he looks a lot different. Let's have a look. The spine. Is that into focus? Can. Need the back. The Barking Ghost. Again, this wasn't one that I had when I was a child. I borrowed it from one of my friends on a fairly regular basis. We'd swap our books. 32. Now, this isn't a review video. If you'd like me to do one of those in the future, going through each individual book and give my thoughts on each individual one, leave a note in the comments below and I'll consider it, definitely, if it's of any interest to you. This is more about the cover art and me assessing the condition of my own books, to be honest. Which look okay. The spines are a little bit faded, mostly. Because I buy them second hand, or tend to, a lot of the time they've had stickers applied to the, here, or quite often anywhere on the front, really. And that can leave quite a sticky residue, which is difficult to get hold of. Yeah, to get rid of, sorry. And Revenge of the Garden Gnomes. Yeah, quite damaged. Was that damage? Is that damage? Or no, it's actually a misprint, I believe, or it's just the way the bubbles fall on it. It looks like it's damaged, but it's not. I absolutely loved this one. I remember reading it in primary school very, very well. I think as much as the story interested me, the cover art I thought was really cool. It's not something I'd ever seen before. Very, very unique. Haunted Mask 2. Oh, a fantastic book. Absolutely fantastic. Ah, The Headless Ghost. Now, this must be one that I had. Yeah. So, my year 1 class. Year 1. Oh, that takes me back. But anyway, I remember having this in my book bag. And when I got this, definitely got the Return of the Mummy video with it. I think this might have been the first one I got, actually. I may have erred, as the politicians say. Stephanie and Dwayne are the twin terrors of Wheeler Falls. They love scaring all the kids in the neighbourhood, but they're bored with that now. So they're going to visit Hill House. And Hill House is haunted. Yeah, that's cool. I absolutely love ghost stories. And this is probably one of the first ones that I read. So from this, yeah, Stephen King, and then H.P. Lovecraft and Charles Dickens and Edgar Allan Poe. Wonderful. What a journey. Hey. And now we've got the abominable The Abominable Snowman of Pasadena. I won't be reading this one. This won't make it to audiobook for me if I can't read the word abominable. Ah, got it. Abominable. Abominable. Yeah, see what I mean about having stickers? Yeah, not great. Buy things from charity shops and, you know, doing things for a good cause and also getting something back for it. But yeah, this barely got any creases down the spine. When you open it, yes, I don't know if you can really tell, but it's hardly been opened. Now I've got my shrunken head. It's a fun story. It's got a good ending. A really good ending, actually. I remember the DVD adaptation. I don't think it was on VHS, but the DVD adaptation definitely has a really quite a dark ending for a children's story. The bad guys get trapped in an ant farm or some kind of a glass tank at the end. Night of the Living Dummy 3. Slappy and all the gang. So you see how Slappy has definitely changed. He's got black hair, receding hairline, and pointy eyebrows. And the suit, that's remained, hasn't it? Let's do a side by side. So a close look of his eyes. Yeah, they're still blue. But which one's spookier, you think? Maybe I should do a comparison series. A comparison of the series, I mean. Bad Hair Day. That's pretty cool. Almost a cautionary tale. The two main characters, I believe, brother and sister, creep out at night, sneak off to see a magician show, and then, well, doesn't end too well for them. again, fairly good condition. Egg Monsters from Mars. Now this is a really good one. Quite enjoyed it. It's again some dark themes. I think the main character finds the egg monster that, well, hatches from an egg and takes it to a scientist who you'd think would be as an adult and a professional, quite trustworthy. And the scientist, I believe, kidnaps the main character to all intents and purposes, and then the main character happens to make friends with the egg monsters, and that's how he gets free. Now, one thing I will say is there was a book that I don't have, or was it a scratch and sniff version from the Egg Monsters from Mars, and I haven't got it here. I'm going to have a look on the internet, see if I can Google it and find it and put it in here if I can. But there was definitely a scratch and sniff, and I remember in primary school scratching it, sniffing it, and it absolutely stinking and turning my stomach. That's the first smell that I can remember that was absolutely god-awful and I could not tolerate. I'll find that out. I'll see if I can find that. But yeah, mildly interesting. Just a bit of promotional material that went alongside this book. The Beast from the East. Loved this one. Read this loads of times. Basically a big game of tag with a twist at the end. Beast from the East. Lots of memories from that book. Say Cheese and Die Again. Yeah. I think it's... If you like Say Cheese and Die, you'd like this one again. But for me, if you ask me from the top of my head to tell you exactly what happens in this book, I couldn't tell you. I've read it once or twice, but it hasn't stuck with me. It's not overly memorable in my mind. Ghost Camp. Now, I like ghosts, but camp stories and things like that are a little bit, I don't know, I find them a little bit less engaging. Perhaps that's because here in England, old Blighty, you don't really go away on camping trips with your mates as they do in America, I believe. I think that's more of a common thing. Maybe that was lost in translation. How to Kill a Monster. I remember seeing this on the bookshelf when I was really quite young, and thinking how cool it was that this was almost an instructional guide about how to kill a monster. I thought I definitely need this one. Really, really beautiful illustrations and a very engaging story. I felt the same about all the later ones, actually. The cover art is absolutely glorious. Legend of the Lost Legend. It's fairly good condition. Attack of the Jack-o'-lanterns. Now just look at that cover art. That's absolutely amazing. And the storyline is fantastic. The twist towards the end is just brilliant. It's sheer genius. They're going to be trick-or-treating forever, essentially. But it's a double prank. But I suggest you read that one to kind of, if you haven't already, to get to what I mean. Vampire Breath, another awesome piece of cover art. Properly spooky. Calling All Creeps. Beware the Snowman. Oh, there's another one of those. What's this one? Still in the later editions. Hasn't changed. Still the same. Oh no, actually, let me have a look. So you get the 3 original texts: welcome to Dead House, stay out of the basement, say cheese and die. But it looks like there is the official Scarezine, if you can see that in this appalling lighting. Some kind of a sound device, which if I can sample the sound and put it in here, I will. And is that a poster? Stay out of the basement poster. Oh, inspired by. Don't delay, join today. No, actually, don't join today, because they're definitely not going to accept your money. Well, they'll accept it, but I don't think you'll get anything in How I Learned to Fly. I read this recently. Again, the condition's really quite nice. A little bit battered at the top edge. Down the bottom. Otherwise fine. Chicken. I don't know how I've gone on for 15 minutes just rambling. But, yeah, that's, I think, from me trying to remove a sticker in haste, or someone else. It probably wasn't me, I would have taken more care over it than that. But second-hand books, they've been loved by someone. Ooh, is there another one of those? So it seems that in the later editions, it was much more common to have the Goosebumps Collector Club leaflet inside. Again, this one, same as the one I've just shown you. Don't go to sleep. Now, if you've got any suggestions for future content of videos that I make Goosebump related around these texts, just leave it in the comments below. Be more than happy to consider them. And also, if you've got a suggestion for the next book that I should read as a complete text, leave that in the description below as well. I'd like to complete one at a time. I don't necessarily have to go through the whole 62 in order. And a few of them I think have been done to death, or at least the ones with the VHS accompaniment or the DVD version might not do with any sense of urgency. Deep Trouble 2. It's a spooky fish. Haunted School. A brilliant ghost story. He's going to learn a lesson he'll never forget. If I could say that about the students in my class, then I have no problems. Werewolf Skin. Yeah, more stickers. Hey, 99p though to buy this book back, which had originally been $3.99. Not a bad deal for me. And overall, stickers aside, condition, there's not many creases along that spine, and it pops back quite nicely. 60. Well, this one, not so great, but a really quite a creepy tale. This one of the later ones. I suggest you give this one a read, and perhaps this hasn't already got an audiobook on YouTube. It may already do. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but maybe this will be the next one I read. What do you reckon? And Monster Blood 4. The Monster Blood series was really, really good. I definitely will do a side-by-side comparison video of the cover arts of the collection. So we've got like Night of Living Dummy, the Say Cheese and Die collection. There's only 2 in there. You've got Return of the Mummy. Yeah. But anyway, I digress. I also made mention of a few Spanish versions of the text that I have. El Fantasma de Alado, probably butchering that. El Ataque de los Espectros del Cementerio. Something that you may find interesting is that when you go and buy a book in Spain, oh my goodness, they ramp the prices up. Any book in Spain, for some reason, well, it's just ridiculously expensive. How much were these? Doesn't say here. No, that'd be too easy, wouldn't it? But I think each one of these books was probably £10 each, roughly, just shy of. Anyway, that's all for today. Gonna get rid of this mess, put them back on the shelf. A sneak peek of what will be coming soon. Some of the special editions. And some of the super special editions that you will not find anywhere else.